Week 11, question number 3 asks us to refer to the Austro model of effective frequency in determining whether a particular market, media, or message factor requires lower or higher frequency. So again, not to be forgetting that this is the Austro model, which starts with a base frequency of 3 and adjusts accordingly. So we see that it goes from a scale of minus 0.2 to plus 0.2 for all of the different factors in the scale. So you would go ahead as an advertiser and circle where you fell on the scale for each particular factor. Tally up all of your minuses and pluses and adjust the base frequency of 3 to understand what your required effective frequency is given your particular situation. So let's go through a sample of different market and media factors that affect frequency. If you have an established brand that is well known, you obviously will need a lower effective frequency, meaning that you need to register fewer impressions in order to get your message across. If you're targeting old people or children, typically a higher effective frequency is necessary in order to get your message across. Less frequent usage of the product, meaning that the product is not used as often as, say, a razor. Maybe your product is something like a video camera or something that gets used with less frequency. We need a lower required effective frequency in order to get our message across. A product with a long purchase cycle also, for the same rationale, has a lower effective frequency. So from the time that I'm thinking about buying till I end up making my purchase is longer than, say, a purchase cycle for a pack of gum or milk or what have you. We need lower effective frequency in that case. High brand loyalty, again, low effective frequency. So you're going to make an adjustment down from the base frequency of 3. You need to show your ad less often if you're a Nike than if you were an unestablished brand that didn't have any loyalty. And the same rationale is for brand share. On the other hand, if you're operating in an environment that has a lot of high clutter, lots and lots of advertisers, you're going to have to adjust up. You're going to have to add to your base frequency of 3 because you need to break through that clutter and show your ad with more frequency. Low audience attentiveness, again, with an audience that's harder to break through to, harder to get them to pay attention to your message, register your message, etc., you're going to need more impressions. We'll go on to the next slide where the remainder of the question is. If you have small ad units, you're going to need a higher effective frequency, more impressions of smaller ads, fewer impressions of larger ads. If you have a high message variety, we're going to need, again, a higher effective frequency, meaning that if all of your ads are trying to communicate a different message, there's not a lot of continuity, you're trying to communicate something different in each of your ads, you're going to have to show those ads with more frequency than if each ad really had a very consistent message. A product-focused message, on the other hand, requires a lower effective frequency. So you're going to adjust down if your product is really focused on, your message is really focused on the product. Those tend to require lower effective frequency. High message complexity, on the other hand, if your ad is very complex, a lot of technical information that requires people to really understand and comprehend and absorb, you're going to have to show that ad with more frequency. On the other hand, a message that's highly unique and that people haven't necessarily seen before and don't associate with another brand, what you're saying is very unique and different, you would not have to show your ad with as much frequency. A brand new campaign, on the other hand, requires higher effective frequency. It's a brand new message people haven't seen before. You're going to have to adjust upwards for that. And we've already talked about high brand share and high brand loyalty. On the other hand, low brand share and low brand loyalty, for obvious reasons, have a higher effective frequency adjustment. So again, don't forget, let's take this as an example. Your Austro model on the low end would be an adjustment down 0.2 or 0.1, or on the higher side, you might adjust up 0.1 or up 0.2. So if you decided that you had low brand loyalty, very, very low brand loyalty, and you might circle yourself as being on the upper end of low brand loyalty, then you would adjust upwards by 0.2 from the base 3, effective frequency of 3. And you do the same thing for low brand share. Again, if you circled a plus 0.2, then you would add these together and adjust your base frequency up 0.4 in order to give you your effective frequency. You do that for all of the market, media, and message factors listed in the Austro model in the slides for this week.